Here at Black Hills Corporation, safety is more than one of our corporate values. It's a way of life we strive to embody in everything we do every day. We work in an industry that can be dangerous when we don't prioritize safety, and there can be dire consequences to employees or those around them when we fail to focus on safety, even for a few seconds. We've made great progress in safety over the past several years, but we're still injuring an average of 35 people a year. That's way too many. Our only acceptable long-term goal must be 0. So what are we doing to get there? We've reached out to all of you for suggestions on how to improve our safety culture through the DuPont survey, Speak Up survey, and focus group meetings. We heard your messages loud and clear. We must have a culture of trust, commitment, ownership, and open communication. We're making significant changes to our safety standards to reflect many of your suggestions. One significant change is that near-miss reporting will be non-punitive. It is critical that we learn from near misses to prevent future incidents. We're emphasizing a culture of 24/7 responsibility. As our safety value states, we commit to live and work safely every day. The safety habits we practice at home carry over into the workplace. We need everyone to commit to his or her own safety, both at work and at home, but we also need everyone to commit to looking out for the safety of their fellow employees, contractors, and the general public. When we see something unsafe, we must speak up and address it. The most important number in our safety metrics is the number of people we're sending home safely every day. The best way for us to continue making progress is for each of us to look out for our fellow employees and stop unsafe acts. We all make mistakes, but when we look out for each other, we can minimize those mistakes and prevent incidents from happening. In order to keep improving our safety culture, we must have open communication across the organization. Teams across the company are meeting to discuss in more detail the formal changes we're making as a result of your feedback. First, let's listen to what some of your fellow workers have to say.
I don't think it can be argued that the safety culture over the last few years has greatly increased and greatly improved at Black Hills, but I think it's also obvious that we've hit a plateau. And I think it's time now to shift the paradigm, bring in this new language, a new way of looking at safety. It kind of opens up the lens, if you will, and brings in how we are responsible for our fellow coworkers as well.
Everyone has a voice and everyone has an opinion and can share that. And in doing so, keep everyone else safe and going home. So I think it's important to report the near misses and take corrective action before there's a problem.
One fatality results from a lot of close calls, but it ultimately starts with the near misses or could-haves, should-haves, and would-haves. So the more of these smaller items we can notice, identify, mitigate very early on, the greater chance we have to ultimately avoid any serious injury for anyone.
It'll help us grow that safety culture to become the safest energy provider in the industry. And to do that, we need the commitment from each employee and their willingness to talk about those near misses.
What strikes me about the new safety guidelines is that it puts a lot more emphasis on personal responsibility, makes you a lot more responsible for your co-workers and encourage you to watch out for them as well as yourself.
Safety starts with me, and at that point it just trickles down, so in effect I am responsible for those that I am working around.
We take pride in what we do, and I think that when we all work together to be safe, that we're more productive.
Safety is a priority for everyone at Black Hills, whether they're in an office or in the field working. I appreciate the fact that Black Hills has a high standard for safety. Both me and my husband work for Black Hills. It's important to me that my husband comes home every day, and it makes me feel pride that I know he's working safe.
We have spouses, children, family members that we need to be safe 24 hours a day at home, on the job, as well as off the job, where that means driving, that means around the house. It's keeping that safety culture present with us wherever we are.
We used to have probably one of the worst safety records in the company, and we got it turned around, and we're up to almost 1,600 days without an accident. We've really worked hard at that, and it's everybody working with each other to make sure that we're safe and just following the guidelines.
I've worked here 41 years without an accident. It is possible to work safe.
The most important part about safety is to take your time. Trust your gut. If it doesn't feel right, it probably is not right.
Completing one job before you move on to the next one. I think it's more important to work on the job that you're on at the time and get it done right, then move on to the next job rather than to worry about, oh, I have all this other work to do today, I need to hurry up and get this done. It's the rushing and the hurrying that causes you to make mental errors.
I rodeoed for 25 years. A ranch kid, rodeo kid, you know, you tell him to go do something, he can get done. Doesn't matter how. But now, you got to really stop and think and what is the safest way to do it. It's kind of mind-boggling at first, but as you just repetitiously do it and do it pretty quick, it becomes a habit.
People think, oh no, I'm hearing about safety again, but that's what it takes. That's what it takes. It takes the repetition. If you lose focus or get complacent, that's when accidents happen.
Well, how could zero be possible? Well, when you go home that day, zero was possible that day. You know, if we could just work it one day at a time, zero can become possible.
Safety means everything to everyone. It means everything to my coworkers and to my employees, that I work safely, that I come to work and go home safely. And it means everything to my family to work safe so that I'm home and I can spend time with them. And it means everything to our customers. When I'm there and I'm performing a job function, it's important that they see that I'm working safe and that I'm doing it in the correct manner.
I believe everyone can do this, and we will be 100% feeling that safety is our #1 priority. Being here safe, working safe, and going home safe should be top on everyone's list.
Your feedback has helped to improve our safety culture. Thank you for your commitment to living and working safely every day.